My goal is to make $100,000 a month by the end of the next 3 years. So, June 2028. And my goal also is to make $10,000 a month by the end of June 2026. So, an entire year, 365 days. And the reason I want to make all this money is because I remember one time my dad telling me about his work and the sacrifices that he's made for me and for our family. And he told me the story once of him being sick, and he's in the operating room because he's an operating room nurse, and he was sick. He had to did all that blowing because he had a runny nose, and he was so sleep deprived. When you're sick, you should especially sleep. And yet he woke up early in the morning so that he could go to work for us, for me. But when he had the mask on and he was with all the other surgeons and they were doing the surgical precision with the patient, he still had a running nose. And so as he was fixing up all the little organs and muscles whilst the patient had an open chest, he had to operate and drink his own snot because he wasn't allowed to actually take off the mask and wipe it off. So what he did as he was doing the procedure, it dripped down his nose and he had to swallow it. Think about that. Your parents deserve so much respect and thank yous from you than they do currently right now, because you're not actually appreciating your parents as much as you potentially could be and should be. And I remember thinking of that, and I was thinking, wow, so much suffering that he's putting himself through voluntarily just for me and for my family. And I have the potential to make money. I've achieved quite some success before in the past. So definitely I could start earning $100,000 a month by June 2028, and I could just retire my dad, and I could give him buy a house for us, and he can finally stop being stressed from his job, working in a job that forces him to be sleep deprived, which will then lead to him having some cancer and deadly disease in the future. Guaranteed, it will happen to him if he continues the path and I don't intervene in this path. And the thing is, what I didn't tell you in this story is I didn't actually get that thought by myself. I actually got that thought from watching a YouTube video from this YouTuber called Hamza, very rich and successful person, and he basically kind of reminded me, telling me of all the sacrifices that my parents had made for me and all the sleep deprivation they had to go through and the pain just to support me and put food for me. And he was speaking in this aggressive and also inspirational way where he abrasively told me, stop sitting down and actually get up and repay your parents. Stop being this. Stop being so lazy and actually repay your parents by building a business and actually retiring them. And ever since I watched that video and I had that thought that reminded me of that story my dad told me, I've been working super hard. Not the hardest, but I've been working harder than before on actually building this business, trying to make money, trying to educate myself on how to become better for my family, to repay them. And it sounds weird to a lot of people, like, I got hair in my mouth sometimes. I had to like spit it out. And although I'm working more, I'm spending more hours working and reading, it sounds kind of boring and painful and unnecessary. But at the same time, I feel just so much better about myself. I feel so much happier. I smile more. I enjoy my parents' company. And I'm really trying to help them more. Not just through the business side and the financial side that's going to happen long term in the future, but also now. I just feel so much better. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because when I took this advice from this YouTuber, which is to repay my family for their suffering and hardships and disciplines just for me, and I want to the advice was to repay them through a business and retire them financially, give them the financial freedom to pursue maybe the music career that they put off just for my sake. Just because I followed that advice, I feel like so much more fulfilled and significant in life. I feel so much better, and I don't regret taking this path. And there's a very simple truth, this underrated habit that you could do that would increase your happiness that I kind of revealed there. But it's so powerful, which is education. Take education seriously, and you will gain success in the areas you learn in. So by education, I don't mean the education system by school. That whole thing is a scam. Harvard is a scam. Stanford is a scam. Yale is a scam. Everything is a scam. The world is corrupt today because all the companies just want your money, including school. School doesn't care about the kids' mental health. They just want the money. They just want the money. And you'll realize there are so many studies that prove if students woke up earlier than school is forcing them to wake up at, they would get higher grades and they would get so much happiness and mental health and physical health. And yet school is depriving them of the 9 to 10, even 11 to 12 hours of sleep that teenagers require. And that's causing so much problems, and it's inhumane that schools are doing all of this. So all that rant to say school is just not a good source of education, it's so stupid. They're so ignorant of what's actually right in life. Just whatever school tells you, just be ignorant of it. Only take it seriously so that you get the grade, but after that you can just stop. Take education seriously and you will gain success in the areas you learn in. If you want success in achieving more happiness in your life and better mental health, you feel just way better, you want to heal the trauma you have and the stress, education will help you. So for example, I have this very popular book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's such a good book. And basically this whole book teaches you social skills. It teaches you complimenting and also how to compliment in the correct way. And you do realize that relationships is one of the most important parts of being a human being. In fact, you already know without me having to say this, there are so many studies that say raising the amount of money you earn will not make you happier than you all currently are, whilst having deeper friendships, higher quality relationships with family, etc. Those make you happier than literally giving you $100,000 right now. That's just a fact of human nature. And this book teaches you the secret to having better relationships in your life. And these tactics are very simple. They're so straightforward. They don't require any effort. They don't require that much effort. And when you start reading books, you take your education seriously and you apply the advice, you'll be so surprised at just how effective it is to make so much more progress when you learn how to invest heavily into the education that you have. So how do you educate yourself properly so that you can gain the most amount of results in the area you study in? And in this case, we're not studying how to get better grades, how to become more productive. We're going to study how to become happier. The first step is to find a source of education. The first one I talked about was books, and they're so high quality. Oh, I can just find the information on YouTube. Yeah, exactly, and yet you're still not watching it, so you can't even use that argument. And books, for some reason, I don't know why, but they are such a higher quality of education than YouTube videos. So reading books and really investing your time into that, and even like giving up watching YouTube videos just so that you have time to read books, so valuable. You will get so much good advice. You won't even expect the value in this book. It's so amazing how people don't read. And it's so disappointing. With the knowledge that I know right now, I got it from reading. And you don't know the right things to success, the right things to happiness, the right things to really anything because you don't read. And I will do so much better than you in life. That's just a fact. Because I read. And also because I watch podcasts. So podcasts are 1.5 hours to 4 hours long usually. And it's when an educational podcast there's this interviewer and he asks this person the successful, intelligent person a few questions, and this repeats for hours. It sounds so simple, like this guy is having a conversation with this successful billionaire and he's asking him questions on how to be better, how to grow your business, and you're just sitting there watching it. And it's so valuable because imagine you wanted to get better at cooking, and I click my fingers and Gordon Ramsay shows up in front of you and he's going to teach you everything you need to learn about cooking. Within such little time, probably a week, you'd already be a better cook than everyone you know in your life. Which is insane because being number one in anything is actually quite hard to do. And you can already be kind of number one already just by investing into your education. And one of the ways you can do that is to speak directly to a successful person. But in a podcast, there's the podcaster who's interviewing the successful person. And although you're not actually the podcaster himself who's face to face with the intelligent, successful person and you're asking the questions, you're watching it and it's as if you are already there. And you'll have so many great insights like I already have. And then the third thing you can invest in are normal YouTube videos. So just, it doesn't necessarily have to be a podcast. And a fourth one is a paid learning platform, a paid online learning platform. So basically that just means courses and I don't know, just basically courses. I'll link down some good paid learning platforms in the description, and also link down some of my favorite podcasts specifically for the intention of learning about happiness in the description. So yeah, there's stuff like Masterclass, School, Skillshare, Udemy, Stage Academy. Those are very high quality sources of education. And also, by the way, I have my own paid product and service, and in there I teach you how to be happier and how to reclaim this motivation and energy and zest that you used to have for life when you were a kid, but you lost because of the social conditioning that society gave you, and all the brainwashing and all the damage to your health that the school system and the rest of society has done to you. Everything, I will teach you all the secrets. Everything that you didn't know, I will teach it in my paid product. Step 2, you spend 1 hour minimum educating on the topic you're interested in. So basically happiness. One singular hour, you will turn off your phone, put it in another room if you're really addicted to it, and you will sit there and read 20 pages of this book. Or maybe you turn on your TV, or you go on your phone, you go onto YouTube or Apple Podcasts, and you just watch a 1 hour long podcast. And you just sit down and you put it in front of you, and you keep your hands away from it for 1 hour. You can set a timer on the clock app. And the reason I tell you to set it far away from you, where you can see it, you can watch it, and you can listen, but you have your hands away, is so that you don't end up grabbing it and accidentally scrolling on TikTok because you got bored with how boring podcasts are. Podcasts are infinitely boring. Books are even way more boring. But that's simply the price you have to pay if you want to relieve the depression that you feel. So 1 hour minimum. Buffy, I don't have the time to read a book for 1 hour. But you have the time to have 5 hours of screen time on your phone. Stop making excuses and actually make time for your education, for your happiness. Because if you don't intentionally leave time for increasing your own happiness, that goes to show to me and to yourself of how much self-respect you have for yourself. Step 3, when you learn from a source, make sure it comes from an intelligent person or a person who's already successful in the field that you're learning about. So for example, if you want to learn how to become a great cook, you're not going to learn off of some random YouTube tutorial on YouTube. Search up on Google, who is the best cook in the world, or who has 5-star restaurants or the Michelin stars, and search up those people and then see if they have a YouTube channel, and then watch from there, or if there are YouTube videos of them or videos of them talking about the subject. So for example, I think Gordon Ramsay has videos posted on YouTube. He also has videos posted on Masterclass, which is one of the paid learning platforms that you could pay for in order to learn. And yeah, if you're learning how to cook, you're not going to learn by searching up a YouTube video, and then you're gonna click on a YouTube video that is just low quality, you don't know the person that you're learning from, it would be way better for you to watch a YouTube video and it literally has Gordon Ramsay himself teaching you, make sure you like brush up and then you cut it in this specific way. Yeah, that's the smell right there. Because such a big mistake that people make is you learn from a person who doesn't actually know what he's talking about. And honestly, I'm kind of a bad example of this, because although I do feel actually quite a lot of happiness in my life. That's why I'm speaking with quite some conviction in the advice that I give, because I know it works for me, so it definitely should work for you. But I'd say I'm qualified enough to actually give you advice. So if you want to learn how to be happy, search up who knows the most about happiness. Search up a happiness scientist like Arthur Brooks or Dr. K, or you search up the teachings of the Dalai Lama, or you can go back to the classic Bible. So yeah, make sure your education comes from an intelligent person who's already successful in his field, rather than a loser who pretends to you that he is one of the winners, but he doesn't actually know what he's talking about, and so he can't speak with as much confidence. And step 4, you do what's called 0-second implementation. And 0-second implementation is when you read a book, and as soon as you get an idea on how you can use the knowledge in this book, as soon as you can get the thought that you can use one of the ideas in this book, close up the book, throw it to the side, and then you actually get up and apply it. One of the advices that Dale Carnegie gives is smile more. And give a genuine smile. This is my best attempt at a genuine smile. Pretty good. And as soon as you read that, and by the way, I mean, right here he says, a person without a smiling face must not open a shop. Your smile is a messenger of your goodwill. Your smile brightens the lives of all those who see it. Yeah, your life is probably brighter because of me now. And so the sentence finishes there. One of the sentences here literally says, go and smile. As soon as you read that in a book, as soon as you finish the sentence and your eyes reach the dot, you finish the paragraph, you close the book, don't even finish the chapter, don't even finish the rest of the book, don't read more, and 0 seconds later, just implement the idea that you already learned. The same with podcasts. When the guy on the other side says, oh yeah, if you want to really make lots of progress in life, you have to really learn how to cultivate dark energy within you. Find something to be pissed off at, and use that as motivation to really change your life. Because the primary motivators of change are actually negative emotion. As soon as you hear that, as soon as you understand that, you pause the video, turn off your phone, or you close the laptop, you throw it to the side, and then you get out some journal or notebook and you start journaling. What is something I could be pissed off about? Oh, my social skills, they suck. No wonder no one actually likes speaking to me. Bro, I'm so ashamed to be the person I am right now. I have to fix this. How can I fix it? Of course, education. I could read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. All right, let's fix the situation that I'm pissed off about. That's the kind of thing that I want you to be like, where you immediately after you learn something, immediately after you get an idea in your head, you implement it 0 seconds later. And by 0 seconds, I don't mean it literally. I just say it as a way to help you think, oh yeah, as soon as I learn it, I'll just close the whole thing. I'll stop learning and actually go out and apply it in the real world. There's this book called The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. And he says winners and losers both have ideas. But the winner has massive execution of those ideas. And the loser has massive procrastination of those ideas. That's what makes the difference between the winner and the loser. If you actually want results in your happiness and you want to increase happiness, follow these 4 steps. You find a book to read or a podcast to watch or a master class about happiness, and you just spend 1 hour minimum every single day, step 2, learning about that, and make sure you're focused. And then step 3, you make sure that it's actually coming from an intelligent person who understands what he's talking about, and he's actually successful in the field. He's actually quite happy. And in step 4, you do 0-second implementation. As soon as you learn, oh yeah, smiling actually increases your happiness. Even though it may not start out as a real smile, according to the facial feedback hypothesis, it will turn into one because you feel happy. As soon as you hear that, turn off your phone, close the book, and smile. And then you can resume watching. So, yeah. By the way, in my description, I have a paid product. It's about $200, and I'll teach you how to become a happier person, a tougher person who can handle all the stresses and anxieties and depressions of life. I'll take you through the same transformation that I did, where I used to feel just completely unhappy and tired all the time. And I did not like my life. To the person where I am now, where I have this zest for life. I wake up excited to do work. I wake up excited to live life. Whilst others, they live life wishing that they didn't live the life, be the person that they already are. My paid product will take you through the same transformation in yourself. See you.